Mr. President, Provost, members of the Board of Trustees, thank you for honoring the three of us. This is almost too much for me.
It's all right.
I first came to this campus in 1964, 24 years old. Chair of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, recruiting students to come south. So it's good to be back here at Lawrence University. Came back in 2005. There's a sweet spirit in this place on this campus, so thank you for having me. Let me get it. To be here with Jim Zwerg, my friend, my brother, is unreal. We first met in 1961. I was 21 years old, had all my hair and a few pounds lighter. It was in Nashville, Tennessee, that we saw segregation and racial discrimination. We had tasted the bitter fruits of racism, and we didn't like it. But you must remember that I grew up in rural Alabama, 50 miles from Montgomery, outside of a little place called Troy. My father was a sharecropper, a tenant farmer. But I remember in 1944, when I was only 4 years old, my father had saved $300, and with the $300, a man sold him 110 acres of land. We still own that land today. On this farm, there was a lot of cotton and peanuts, hogs, cows, and chickens. If you come to my Washington congressional office or visit my office in Atlanta, the moment you walk through the door, the first thing the staff will offer you would be a Coca-Cola product. Because Atlanta is the home of the Coca-Cola company, and Coca-Cola provides all members of the Georgia congressional delegation with an adequate supply of Coca-Cola products. I don't tell the Coca-Cola people, but I don't drink too many of those products. Every now and then I may have a bottle of Coca-Cola water. The next thing the staff will offer you some peanuts, because in the state of Georgia, like in the state of Alabama, we raise a lot of peanuts. And the Peanut Commission provides us with peanuts. I ate so many peanuts when I was growing up as a young child in rural Alabama. I just don't want to see them with peanuts. Sometime I get on a flight flying from Atlanta to Washington, or Washington back to Atlanta, and the flight attendant tried to give me some peanuts. Peanuts. Now on this farm, it was my responsibility to care for the chickens, to raise chickens. I know a smart and gifted students and wonderful teachers. You don't know anything about raising chicken. I know some of you love chicken, right? But you don't know anything about raising chicken. And that's right. You're smart, you're gifted, you're just brilliant. But let me tell you what I had to do as a young boy, growing up in rural Alabama during the 40s and the 50s. They take the fresh eggs, mark them with a pencil, place them under the setting hen, and wait for 3 long weeks for the little chicks to hatch. I know some of you now saying, now John Lewis, why did you mark those fresh eggs with a pencil before you placed them under the setting hen? Well, from time to time, another hen would get on that same nest, and there would be some more eggs. You have to be able to tell a fresh egg from the eggs that were already under the setting hen. Do you follow me?
Yes.
You don't follow me, that's okay. So when the little chicks were hatched, I would fool these setting hen. I would cheat on these setting hen. I would take these little chicks and put them in a box with a lantern, or raise them on their own, or give them to another hen, get some more fresh eggs, mark them with a pencil, place them under their setting hen, encourage the setting hen, they still in the nest for another 3 weeks. I kept on fooling and cheating on the setting hen. And when I looked back and it was not the right right thing to do. It's not the moral thing to do. It's not the most loving thing to do. It's not the most nonviolent thing to do. It was not the most democratic thing to do. But I was never quite able to save $18.98 to order the most inexpensive incubator and hatcher from the Sizzle Robot store. And as a graduate, I know you're very young. You've probably never seen a Sizzle Robot catalog. Maybe your parents or grandparents, maybe some of your teachers, a big book, a heavy book, a thick book. Some people call it a woven book. Some people call it a wish book. I wish I had this. I wish I had that. As a young boy, about 8 or 9 years old, I wanted to be a minister. I wanted to preach the gospel. So from time to time, with the help of my brothers and sisters and cousins, we would gather all our chickens together like we gathered here on the discount. And we would have church. The chickens, along with my brothers and sisters and cousins, would make up the congregation, the audience. And I would start speaking and preaching, and when I look back on it, some of these chickens were about our heads. Some of these chickens were shaking their heads. They never quite said amen. But I'm convinced that some of those chickens that I preached to in the 40s and the 50s tended to listen to me much better than some of my colleagues listen to me in the Congress. Chicken were just a little more productive. These people would say, that's enough of that story. And we would visit the town of Troy, visit Montgomery, visit Tuskegee. I saw those signs that said white men, colored men, white women, colored women, white women, colored waiting. I would come home and ask my mother, ask my father, my grandparents, my great-grandparents, why segregation? Why racial discrimination? And they would say, that's the way it is. Don't get in the way, don't get in trouble. But in 1955, 15 years old in the 10th grade, I heard the Rosa Parks. I heard the words of Martin Luther King Jr. on old radio. The action of Rosa Parks, the words and leadership of Martin Luther King Jr. inspired me to find a way to get in the way, to get in trouble. I was so inspired by the action of Rosa Parks and the words and leadership of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. that in 1956, with some of my brothers and sisters and cousins, we went down to the public library, the little town of Troy, Alabama. Trying to get library cards, trying to check out some books. We were told by the librarian that the libraries were white only and not for colors. I never went back to that public library until July 5th, 1998 for a book signing of my first book, Walking with the Wind, and hundreds of activities. So I said to you, graduate, dream dreams. Change is possible. I met Rosa Parks in 1957 at the age of 17. The next year, in 1958, I met Martin Luther King Jr. And they set me on a path to get involved. I got in trouble, good trouble, necessary trouble. This young man, my friend, my brother, Jim Zwerg, we both gave blood, a little blood, at the Greyhound bus station in Montgomery. Blood to redeem the soul of America, to change our country, to make it better. So when someone said to me, John Lewis, nothing has changed, I feel like saying, come and walk in my shoes. I will show you change. You will not see the signs that we saw. Those signs are gone, and they will not return. The only place you will see those signs today will be in a book, in a museum, on video. Our country is a better country, but there's still basic human needs that must be met. And I appeal to you as graduates to go out there and find a way to get in the way. Go out there and find a way to get in trouble, good trouble, necessary trouble. to make our country and the world community better. In the final analysis, we are one people, we're one family. We all live in the same house, not just the American house, but the world house. The late April Randolph, the Dean of Black Leadership in the 60s, who brought together the March on Washington, said over and over again, maybe our foremothers and our forefathers all came to this great land in different ships, but we all are in the same boat now. We must look out for each other and care for each other. There's something wrong in our country, in our society. When we have more than 11 to 12 million people living in the shadow, is it possible for us to be a little more human and bring these individuals out of the shadow and set them on a path to citizenship? That is the right thing to do. No human being is illegal. Society, as a great nation, if we fail to act and do what is right, what is fair, and what is just, history will not be kind to us. So you have a moral obligation, a mission, and a mandate to speak up, and get in good trouble. You can do it. You must do it. Not just for yourselves, but for generation yet unborn. Dr. King said on one occasion, we must learn to live together as brothers and sisters. We will perish as fools. So it doesn't matter whether we're black or white, Latino, Asian American, or Native American. It doesn't matter whether we're straight or gay. We're one people, we're one family, we're one house. We are brothers and sisters.
Yes.
I feel more than lucky. I feel very blessed. In spite of being arrested and jailed 40 times during the 60s, 5 more times since I've been in the Congress. I'm probably going to get arrested and jailed again for something. But just a few weeks ago, I had the great honor of walking across that ethnic bridge 50 years later with the first African-American president. Children, his mother-in-law, but also walking across that bridge with President and Mrs. Bush. There's someone that told me then, after being beaten almost to death on that bridge, that 50 years later, I will witness what I did. Don't tell me change is not possible. Change is possible. Walk with the spirit of Lawrence University. Walk with the spirit of history. And help us do what is fair, what is good, what is decent, and move us closer toward a society where we recognize the dignity and the worth of every human being. I wish you well. Good luck. Go in peace with faith and hope. Thank you very much.